So the first question is for both Gilles and Paul. What are the largest and smallest companies that have deployed Salesforce CPQ into production? Gilles, would you like to go first as our CPQ expert?
So the largest is a small company called Google. They are today the largest CPQ implementation in the world with over 9,000 users. And we have the privilege at Simplus to be their implementation partner. We've been working with them for the past couple of years. On the other side of the spectrum, the smallest company I have ever implemented was a company, web hosting company with about 5 employees. And I think that's still a record, but they were implemented from requirements gathering to go live in 3 days.
Wow, that is incredible. To be able to put something like that together so quickly shows a lot of expertise. And it's nice to know for the med device companies that are on this webinar that you can go from very small to very large and the process is the same. So it's scalable. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the Salesforce CPQ package can tailor to both very small companies and very large companies and address many of their pain points. So that's what we seek to do when we partner with a client, is to make their life simpler and easier.
Thank you. That's excellent. Let's go to the next slide. Paul, could you give us just a brief overview of some of the Salesforce CPQ projects that we have done in healthcare and life sciences?
Sure, and I'd add to what Gilles had said that a lot of our clients are also small divisions or units within large organizations that are using CPQ because of the complexity of their product lines, and so that there are a lot of different types of organizations we work with. We have a wide way of different ways to approach that. So in healthcare and life sciences, in terms of CPQ, the big drivers of opportunity are around the pain points of low referral rates and manual processes that are really slowing down the ability for data to flow through the sales cycle. And that means a lot of manual quoting processes with spreadsheets and ultimately, that results in low visibility into your sales cycle. So our solutions are using Salesforce and Salesforce CPQ to create streamlined CPQ solutions that handle from the lead all the way to the cash, to revenue recognition, and into the accounting system, and provide a way for the data to flow and for organizational influences such as operations, marketing, to push data into the system that allows their requirements to be included in the process.
Yeah, that makes sense. So our outcomes, we support the same outcomes that Salesforce does in the health and life sciences space, which is improving patient outcomes, reducing financial risk, and improving operations. So, Paul, I think that it's really exciting to see, if we go to the next slide, a couple of the projects that you've done that have really impacted the results and the efficiencies of these med device companies. Could you speak for a moment to SAS?
Sure. So SAS is a distributor of surgical and pharmaceutical equipment, and their challenge was an outdated technology stack based on an Oracle ERP system that was slow and not well adaptive. Ultimately, what we helped them to do was to integrate that ERP with Salesforce and Salesforce CPQ to create a 360 view of the customer and allow them to much more quickly bring up new customers on board, and also to handle much more more accounts with the smaller number of staff.
Excellent. And the results, as we can see, significant reduction in customer onboarding time, so many hours saved. Very happy client. Let's go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Could you also tell us a little bit about Team?
So Zeem is in a similar organization. They were, using CPQ, they were able to help their organization scale. Their challenge was around their complex. They're an imaging organization, and they had a complex SKU product catalog with a lot of interdependencies. And as a result, it took a long time for them to manually quote and also manually update product or customer price lists. Once we were able to implement our CPQ solution, they were able to turn those new price lists on instantaneously rather than over a period of up to a month at times when it was very difficult for them, and really reduce the pain of rework, because when it takes a long time to update your price lists, you're inevitably going to have a lot of inaccurate quotes. And so they had a 93% decrease in quote creation time. The decrease in troubleshooting time and rework was also tremendous, estimated at 87%. And really, that's like 1 in 7. They were really reworking a lot of cases.
That is really incredible. Those numbers, obviously, a very fast time to ROI when you have those kinds of results.